Start your morning right. Build something that lasts. Good. Start your morning right. Build something that lasts. Oh my goodness. Start your morning right. Fix your life. Start your morning right. It's your life. It's your life. Father, I thank you for the day. Thank you for counting me worthy to see another day. Ancient days be thou exalted. Father, thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for my morning routines. Thank you for the air I breathe. Thank you for my sight. Thank you for the amazing viewers. Thank you for more subscribers. Thank you for leveling up. Thank you for the next level. Thank you for the loved ones in my life. Thank you for good health. Thank you for financial abundance. Thank you for my mouth. Thank you for fitness. Thank you for my physique. Thank you for my strong body. Ancient of days, I say, be thou exalted in the name of Jesus. Lord, as I start a new day now, Lord, Father, guide, protect me. Oh Lord, Father, let there be divine favor for refresh them, Father. Father, make them stronger. Let them get their required body go, oh Lord. Father, whatever they've come to me seeking for, let them find. Father, in any way we sin against you, sin that will hinder our progress, our blessings here on earth as human beings. Lord God, have mercy and wash us clean with the blood of His Son Jesus Christ. For in Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Amen. Badman Stone, good morning. Are you ready for today's class, champ? Good morning, champ. Yes? Getting ready. Catching a few. Where is Aku? I'm speaking to the camera. You remember the inchworm into a plank? You see how much you raise your heart rate? So if you can do that, so those are ways you can raise your heart rate when you are doing like Pilates or doing other things at the gym and you want to get your heart rate up. You remember? Yeah, it does. Do you know something that can get your heart rate really up fast? Yes. Punches. But now you'll be tired fast. But to raise your heart rate really fast, the more you go, the faster. Yes, my soldiers. My soldiers are built different. When my empire is built, Eugene and Ako will be in the front line. Huh? Yes, they will be my generals. Yes, shall I do that? I'll go crazy. I need to create a group. Ash and the PI already does that. PI armies. All their fighters are called PI army. Right? Ash's army. They'll beat you to ashes. Yo, my body's getting okay. I'm putting it through a lot. Summer is here. Yo. There's something I need to put on. I need to read. Okay. We'll do that. Transformation morning. There's this habit I've been doing now every day, guys. It was taught to me by somebody very special. It's called savers. We call it the life savers. Okay? The S stands for silence, which could also be prayers. Hey, listen. Or meditation. The A stands for affirmation. The V stands for visualization. The E stands for exercise, of course. You need to exercise. You know, the R stands for reading. You see, I'm currently reading my self-improvement book, 5 a.m. Club. And the last S stands for scribe, which means like journaling, right? Plan your day, right? You know? And a little advice I will always give you, which is very crucial for every human being. Start your day with gratitude. Start your day, use your early hours of your day to be grateful. Find things to be grateful for. And indeed, you are going to be grateful for real at the end of the day. Anyways, I'm just going to read some chapters of my 5 a.m. Club. Stay with me as I level up. Exactly, the billionaire fame, which requires a large amount of fuel to overcome those initial forces and reach escape velocity. The last emoji killed me, Mama Bear. It did kill me. I didn't see that coming. Mama Bear. Mama Bear. Ash Queen. Ash Queen. My gift from God. Bridget means business. A lot of business she does. The Queen of Ash Empire. Bridget means a lot of business. Coming true, Ra. Coming true. Soon, coming true. Less than a year. Should be on the way. The first phase of creating any new habit, the destruction stage, is precisely like this. You need to overcome your deeply ingrained habits, dominant rituals, and traditional state of performance. You need to rise above your own forces of gravity until your escape velocity kicks in. It's so challenging at the beginning. I'm not going to lie to you. You both have done very well getting up at 5 a.m. over the morning you have been with me. But you will hit a wall over these first 22 days while you are in phase 1. Nothing wrong, just part of the habit installation process anyone seeking peak productivity and a richer life must go through. For most people reading to get up before daybreak, each day of this first phase is a hardship. They feel like giving up. They complain that rising early just isn't for them, that they are not built for this routine, and that it's just not worth the pain. My advice is simple. Continue at all costs. Persistency sits at the threshold of mastery. The things that feel hardest are also the ones that are most valuable. Keep remembering that doing difficult things that are very important was how the highest achievers and the greatest heroes of our civilization embraced their powers. Please also remember this rule. When faced with a choice, always choose the one that pushes you the most, increase your growth, and promote the fundament of your gifts, talents, and personal powers. Prowess. So when you feel like quitting, persevere. You will get to the next stage soon and understand the negative thoughts, cranky emotions, and strong desires to surrender are a normal part of the process of hardwiring any new regime. The first 22 days are supposed to feel like a mild form of torture, because stage 1 is all about destruction of old ways of being so that the new ones can be set up right. The entrepreneur asked precisely. The billionaire confirmed, and just because you couldn't do something before doesn't mean you can't do it now. He added while nodding in an encouraging way. I need to repeat what I said so you absolutely lock it in. If it wasn't hard initially, it wouldn't be real and valuable change. Society has programmed us to think that because it's difficult at first, something bad is happening. That we should stop what we are doing and return to the safe house of our former normal. Zero growth and evolution towards legendary in that mode of operating. Zero. Yes, I'm considering pilot training in Mexico by November. Pilot training, Pilates. I call it pilot sometimes. Pilates. I struggle with pronouncing that word, I don't know why. So good at Great the Entrepreneur. Everyone I know repeats the familiar every day. Okay, maybe not everyone, but definitely most people. Same thoughts, same behaviors, and same moves. The truth is not that they can't change, said Mr. Riley. It's just that they didn't make the commitment to improve and then stay with the process long enough for their neurobiology as well as their physiology, emotionality, and spirituality to work its natural wonders. Everything you now find easy, you once found hard, you know? The billionaire then asked for the security guard's flashlight and focused it onto the part of the learning model related to the second stage of routinization. Thanks, Krishna, he added. See here, all change is messy in the middle. Stage 2 is called installation because it's like you are going through an interior renovation of sorts. Former foundation needs to be torn down so that much better one can put up. This stage will make you feel confused, stressed out, and frustrated. You will feel like quitting even more and dismissing your decision to join the 5 a.m. club as a terrible one. You will long to go back to staying in your warm bed and counting more sheep. Just know and trust that all is good, very good actually. And though you can't see it, you are advancing even further in the habituation of making the early rising routine yours for the rest of your life. Things are about to get easier. They really are. You are just going through the second stage of the procedure, and it only feels messy and it only looks chaotic. The reality is you are growing beautifully and closing in on a whole new grade of performing. In all disorder, there is a secret order, said famed physiologist Carl Jung. So, when you are wiring in this priceless new money routine, the entire structure of your brain really is on fever as you manufacture new neural pathways. Your whole system really is being restructured. You are honestly in a seriously unfamiliar territory, sprouting green shoots, going blue ocean, conquering new territories of self-potential, and accessing higher universe of human optimization. Cortisol, the fear hormones, is elevated at this time, so you will feel scared and a lot of the time. All that's happening within your brain is consuming huge reserves of energy, so you will be exhausted often at stage 2 of habit installation. The ancient sages, seers, and philosophers called such a profound personal transformation the dark nights of the soul. What was once a caterpillar is immensely yet almost magically becoming a butterfly. The mystics wrote of deep and real changes as a journey involving a series of little deaths. The old, you must die so better you can be reborn. The spellbinder says that for you to upgrade to greatness, you must undergo an annihilation of your weakness. Dramatic words, I will admit. But the guru speaks truthfully. In stage 2, sometimes you might even feel like everything falling apart, but actually all is coming together even better. Your human perception is often not reality. As you have learned, it's just you seeing the world through a lens. The fact is that the illusion of safety is always so much more deadly than the rise towards personal mystery. Stay in stage 2 of this process for around 22 days and just know that unfathomable rewards are coming. I love all that you just said, interjected the artist. I will install the early rising ritual for the rest of my life, even if it kills me trying. He promised to himself. The billionaire grew quiet. I have been this through shedding and transforming process many, many times. Each time I go for a new habit or greater skill or even more evolved core beliefs, I go into this death and rebirth circle. And I need to tell you that it does feel like the end. You will be so scared at times, tired, tired a lot for a while, and confused by what the dark voices of your ego will say. You will even feel like you are going crazy sometimes. That's why so few people do this work and why so few reach rare air of epic performance and make a worldwide impact on the culture. It's a sport only for outright warriors. It requires enormous courage, immense conviction, and uncommon strength of character. You have all this in you. Just resolve to apply it. As I said, with practice and patience, it will all get easier and eventually automatic. I like that. Okay, Kat, spoke the billionaire as he clapped his hands together like an encouraging football coach. I know you are getting this beautifully, so let's keep jamming. Stick with the process of new habit installation through the breakdown of old patterns, which happens in stage 1. Then continue through the formation of new circuitry in your brain, which happens through neuroplasticity and the manufacturing of better pathways in your emotional core in stage 2. Do that and you will most certainly reach stage 3, the final part of your ascension, integration. Remember, all change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. The billionaire paused, smiled gently, and then touched his toes. He kissed the flesh between his fingers again. Then he went on. This final stage is when it all comes together, he explained, and you get to experience the benefit of your fantastic commitment to being a lifetime member of the 5 a.m. Club. You are nearing the end of the roughly 66-day period required for a human brain and being to encode a routine. So now it's success time. You have advanced through the initial disruption. You have made it through the dangerousness and chaos of the middle phase, and you have come out the other side stronger, more skilled, and with greater intimacy of your most supreme and invisible nature. You are now the next version of your greatest self, able to bring on a bigger game, influence more people by the glorious power of your example, and be more useful to the world because you have owned more of your prima heroism. All your hard work, sacrifice, and suffering, careful consistency, and brilliant bravery comes together in this stage as the new habits you have been working on integrates at a physiological, emotional, physical, and spiritual level and becomes your new normal. Normal, wondered the artist, life gets easy. The billionaire suddenly fell to a marble floor of Taj Mahal and started doing more push-ups. He looked sort of like a boxer training for the main event. What the heck are you doing now? Questioned the entrepreneur, amused. He is crazier than I ever imagined, she thought. I do love him. The primary purpose of life is growth. to be consciously pushing yourself to materialize more of your potential. My daily push-ups not only keep me in a state of continual optimization towards world class, it's also a tremendous way to keep myself feeling young, happy, and alive. Boredom kills the human spirit. The industrialist stood up. For the A players, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. The installation of one great new habit brings on the outstanding opportunity to begin the next. I do 1,000 push-ups a day, Superb exercise. One of the best. So simple. Keeps me lean and chiseled. Good for my core. And the exercise also recruits my glutes, the billionaire said with an awkward expression. But doing 1,000 push-ups a day is also a ritual to remind me to keep going, keep expanding, keep elevating my mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set, and escalating my rise to my best. Honestly, I'm not afraid of failing. That's just part of learning to fly. I'm just horrified of not growing. Got you, the entrepreneur said, scribbling frantically on a notepad. What time is it? I think I have a newcomer who wants to join the class today. It's currently calling. The same one that was calling when we were talking yesterday. Should I take it? Okay. Rise and shine, my champ. Good morning. Good morning. We do the step time. It's a ritual. It's our Wednesday ritual. We don't miss it. Every Wednesday, 7:30, we are there. What's the time now? We always start 7:30. No. We start 7:30. Which side? Which side are you driving from? Yeah, that is when I wake up as well. Okay. Yeah, he told me yesterday, but we're always there every Wednesday, except we change. We do change locations though, but this month we are there. Okay. It's good. That's you're on the way to shred it, yes. But you can't run every day. Exactly, because running is a very high impact, and there's a way we normally do the run. The stairs we run 1K after every first round, so you might end up running like 8K with 8 rounds. Yeah, but today I can't run with you guys because I have an injured leg. For you now, you should do minimum of 8 rounds. Minimum. Yeah. Only the newcomers that are not used to it. I think I'm getting like 2 newcomers today, so they can do like 5 or 6. Yeah, with weights though. See you soon, champ. Those are some of my students. I've got a class at Biscuit Clifton Stairs in the next 1 hour. So they're getting ready to smash it. Let's get it, champ. Let's get it. Where was I? The billionaire then moved an index finger across the teaching model and rested it at the area. The billionaire then, hello beautiful, how you doing? Where you at? Okay, some shower. Okay, some shower. Will you be able to start the cold shower in the morning? Mm-hmm. Who is the mama ray? Who is the mama being? Who is the mama ray? Sorry, guys. The billionaire then moved the index finger across the teaching models and rested it at the area that said the automaticity point. The exciting fact is that once you arrive at the automaticity point, you no longer need any willpower to get up at 5 a.m. The new regime supplementation into your human operating system is complete. Awakening before dawn becomes second nature and easy. Here is the real gift from your excellence and devotion over the 6 or so days. The willpower you were using to lay down the early rising habit is now free up for another world-class behavior. So you have the chance to grow even more productive, prosperous, joyful, and successful. This is the hidden secret of all pro athletes. For example, it's not that they have more self-discipline than the average person. It's just that they capitalized on whatever impulse control they had for 6 days until the game-winning routine got installed. After that, they redirected their willpower to something else that would improve their expertise, another practice that would help them lead their field and achieve victory. One habit installation after another habit installation is how the pros play. Over time, their winning behaviors become automated, systematized, institutionalized. Absolutely no effort was required to run them once they got hardwired. And these superstars practice their habit of victory so often they have arrived at a place where they forgot how to not do them. They got to a point where it was easier to run them than not run them right. Commented the entrepreneur. Absolutely correct, responded the billionaire. The artist was excited, so valuable to me personally and to my work as a painter, and So I completely understand this process fully. Each of the three stages, destruction, installation, and integration, takes about 22 days, right? Right. And at around the 66th day mark, it locks in as an automatic routine. That's the automaticity point, because habits take around 9 weeks to implement. Don't stop getting up at 5 a.m. after a week. Don't give up when it gets messy in the middle of the process. Stay relentless through the entire exercise, through all its trials and challenges. Just like Shash Jahan did, as he and his workers constructed the Taj Mahal, building it into one of the wonders of the world. Awesome takes patience, and genius takes time. Stay true in your dedication to carving out an hour for yourself as the sun rises, and while the majority sleep, to develop your four interior empires that will set you up to realize all the outer ones that your big heart long to actualize. Do not neglect the call on you to deploy your fullest talent, magnify your spectacular strengths, multiply your happiness, and discover a paradise of peace within you that no outer event can ever reduce. This, my friend, is how you become undefeatable, unbreakable, and a true master of your domain, as well as a wonder of the world in your own unique way. Love it, being the entrepreneur. Bravo, totally helpful. Explain why so few people have the habit necessary to achieve mastery. They just don't stay with their initial commitment long enough for it to work. They could, but they don't. Yup, agreed the billionaire. That's why information and education, learning and growing are so vitally important. The majority just don't know this life-changing model and the practical insight that I have revealed to you around it. And because they don't know, they can't apply. And knowledge unimplemented leaves potential undecapitalized. We are all built for triumph in whatever way we choose to define it. Sadly, most of us have never been schooled in the philosophy and methodology that the spellbinder taught to me. The same teaching I am now paying forward to you. You just need to make sure you tell as many people as possible about the spellbinder's work. Please. This way, we can help people leave the darkness of apathy, mediocrity, and scarcity, and find their inherent power to do astonishing things with the rest of their lives. Good. We need to make this world a better, healthier, safer, and more loving place. For sure, the entrepreneur and the artist promise. Together, the entrepreneur then stopped to take in the unforgettable nature of the scene that enveloped her. She was standing next to a man she would expectedly fallen in love with over a bizarre, beautiful, and marvelous adventure. She was standing inside one of the 7 wonders of the world located in India, a nation she would always long to visit for breathtaking sight, exotic delights, and the country's extraordinary special citizens. She paused to consider what had unfolded back in her unusual world. The manipulations, the thievery, the disloyalties, and the treachery. That moment she laughed. Not some forced laugh, that so many of us here at business meetings wear good people in quiet fear, wear social masks in an effort to fit in, appear powerful and look cool. No, this was the public joy of a person who had just discovered some of the true treasures of a life wisely lived. The entrepreneur in that instant realized how blessed she was. The takeover attempt would resolve itself, since life always has a way of working things out for the best. Sure, she would learn not to repress the natural feelings of anger, disappointment, and sometimes sadness that were arising within her from time to time when she would think about the situation. That was just her being human and real, even brave, not weak. Yet, she also now understood there were things more important than wealth, acclaim, and fame, and that many financially rich people are actually desperately poor. Nothing as valuable as my happiness, nothing as priceless as my peace of mind, the businesswoman thought. She would found love. She had found love. She was still in excellent health. She had so many things to be grateful for. Two eyes to see the splendor of this wonderful world. Two legs to explore it all. Food on her table each night at a time when billionaires have empty bellies, and a roof over her head for simple shelter. She had white books to read in her library, work that fed her creativity, and, as the billionaire said so often, an opportunity to achieve outright mastery, not only to benefit herself, but also in service of society. And so, inside the majestic museum that has electrified the inspiration of so many visitors from across the earth, and as the sun rose into the abundant Indian sky, the entrepreneur found it in her heart to do something we all need to do more often. She forgave. She let go of her hostility towards her investors. She released her resentment for her detractors, and she let go of every single one of her weighty disappointments. Life is too short to take things too seriously, and at the end of her life, what would matter most would not be whether those venture capitalists had ownership of her enterprise, but who she became as human being, and the quality of the craft she produced, and how many people she helped, and how much she laughed, and how well she lived. The billionaire was right. Every human being does the best they can do based on the level of consciousness they are currently at, and on the grade of true power they can command. And if our investors had known better, they would have done better. These people generated pain and suffering for her because at a deep and subconscious level, they are in pain. And because they are suffering, those who hurt others silently loathe themselves. Yes, this sort of higher way of seeing things is not so common in our civilization. But maybe that's why our world is filled with so many wars, so much danger, and so much hatred. Just maybe, she considered. These corporate bandits were her teachers, sent by life's better nature to push her to the edge so she would reach such a place of disheartenment and despair that she would have to change and learn to soar. Just maybe all she experienced was this was, as the billionaire thought, precious preparation for two she needed to become to fulfill the potential of her most luminous gift and realize the promise of her most high destiny in a way that benefits humanity. And perhaps it's when we face losing everything that we come to know our greatest selves. This strange, quirky, and most genuine mentor in front of her, Mr. Stone Riley, was pouring his heart out, explaining how the simple yet not initially easy daily discipline of joining the 5 a.m. club could, and indeed would, transform the productivity, let's me, prosperity, and well-being of any person who applied the method. He had kept each of the lofty vows he had made at their bizarre first encounter at the Spellbinders mesmerizing conference. He had shown himself to be a titan, not only of industry but also of integrity and decency. We need more of his kind, she thought. Women and men who are pure leaders, people who influence not through the strength of a large title and by the threat of a big position, but via the power of character, the nobility of their expertise, and the compassion in their heart, and by their unusual dedication to leaving everyone they met better than they found them. Leaders run less by the selfish addiction of the ego and more by the selfless dictates of our greater wisdom. The entrepreneur remembered the words of the poet Maya Angelou. My wish for you is that you continue to be who you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness. The instruction of Mother Teresa also entered the mind of the entrepreneur in that instant. If everyone will only clean their own doorstep, the whole world will be clean. And so, on that very special early morning, inside one of the splendid monumentum of the world, she not only forgave, she made a pact with herself, understanding as never before that optimizing oneself is the best way to improve the state of the world, and that developing the genius within was the fastest way to uplift her relationship with everything externally. The entrepreneur forged an agreement. She made herself a promise not only to never again consider taking her own life, she also pledged that every day, for the remainder of her days, she would rise at 5 a.m. and give herself the gift of the victory hour, free from all trivial diversion, unimportant stimulation, and unnecessary complications, so that she could continue calibrating her mindset, purifying her heart set, fortifying her health set, and escalating her soul set. She would demand this of herself no matter what excuse and rationalization the weaker and scared part of her personality would argue for. Because she deserved to experience her greatness, and because she hoped to be one of the heroes that we all are waiting for. Anyhow, the billionaire shouted inappropriately loudly. 3 final and ultra practical tactics to help you lock in new habits. I have spent a lot of time on this subject because it's so absolutely essential to your success. I will quickly walk you through 3 techniques that research confirms will help the 5 a.m. club morning routine stick. Then we are out of here. Then I'm also out of here. How will you listen? That was 80 minutes of life on my to-do list. Go at least 1 hour of life before the 80 minutes is more than 1 hour. Hello cats, according to Mr. Relly. I'll see you guys later in 45 minutes at Clifton Step Climbing. Stay true to yourself. Keep leveling up.
to be the best version of yourself. Let's make the world a better place. See you guys later. Peace out.